Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Happy Wife School Show. Happy Saturday, maybe Sunday, depending on where you're joining from. But wherever you are, I'm so glad that you can be here with us. As always, I kind of like to make sure you guys can hear me. All right, so I'll take a hop over here. Wow, already so many people here in the chat today. I like that, Phil. A special welcome to our international viewers. Absolutely. And yeah, we want to thank Phil and Evo and Steve for doing an incredible job as moderators in the chat. I've actually talked to quite a few people this week that have commented on how great you guys are doing and what a supportive environment the chat is each Saturday. So I am just so grateful to you guys. And as Phil mentioned, Steve can't be here with us today. We'll miss you, Steve, but hopefully he'll be back with us next Saturday. And then Evo is my man, looking out for questions in the chat. So if you have a question for me, please put question in all caps so that Evo can see that more easily, or consider giving a contribution on the live chat. It's always appreciated. And the benefit of that is that it makes the questions stand out in a lot of color. So it's easier for Evo to grab those and then send those over to me to make it a little easier at the end of the chat to get to some of your questions and some of your comments, which I like to take some time to do each Saturday at the end of the show. So we will do that then, loud and clear. Thank you, Phil. And hi, Luke. Good to have you here. And Johnny, nice to have you here. I saw Troy is here. I haven't seen your name pop up in the beginning in a moment, so it's really nice to have you here. And yeah, we'll get started. A couple of reminders. Go check out my colleague Josie's YouTube channel, Escape the Alternative Health Matrix. She has an incredible way to teach about outgrowing autoimmune and chronic illnesses, and she's just phenomenal. So please go check her channel out. And also, I'm on Spotify. We're going to get the podcast over on Apple and Google Podcast as well. Me and my assistant Chelsea are going to work on that next week, so looking forward to that, and so appreciative to her editing the audio. We're using a new system this week, so I don't have last week's live show up yet, but I'm actually going to get that posted over there on Spotify before I leave today. So if you prefer to download and listen and plug in your earphones, then listening to the live shows in podcast format might be for you, and it can also make it easier to download and share with others. If you are over following me on Spotify for the podcast, please do me a favor, and if you feel it deserves it, please give it a 5-star rating. I think that helps with the algorithm so that I can get in front of a new audience, even on Spotify, and people who maybe haven't found my channel yet. So I appreciate your support in that if you can do that. So today we are getting into, does size matter? The truth you need to know. And I'm going to talk a little bit about why I want to talk about that today here in a moment, but I'll share something funny with you guys. I've mentioned before, my mentor David and I sit down every Saturday morning to go over my live show and get the talking points and flesh out the outline. And as we did it, I typically, a little insider information, I might have like 5 or 6 pages of just my talking points that are just there for me as a guide as I'm going through, and keeps me organized and not getting off on too many talking tangents, which I can do. I only have 3 pages today. I only have 3 pages, one front and back, and then one other page. And I told David, I said, I'm a little worried today's show might be a little shorter. And he said, Karen, the length doesn't matter. And he said, no pun intended. And we had a good chuckle. And as my other mentor, Peggy, which is David's partner, she says, it's always good to have a sense of humor about some of these things that can feel more serious, and talking about different insecurities and issues and challenges that come up in a marriage. but it's always good to have a sense of humor and be able to laugh. So we chuckled about that because I really didn't mean it when I said I think it's going to be a shorter show today, and David said length doesn't matter. We both looked at each other, we started laughing. So the reason that I want to talk about this today is that I read through different marriage articles and different Reddit threads from time to time. Speaking of which, I know there's some Reddit threads out there about me. I haven't looked through those yet, but I will, because that'll make for some good content here someday soon. But anyways, I digress. I read through different marriage articles and different Reddit threads to find interesting topics that I might not think of on my own that I want to talk about, and just interesting things that come up to talk about for the live show. And to teach and to share my perspective. And I ran across one on penis size and a woman complaining about the size of her husband. Here's the really interesting part that I noticed. I found, because then I dug a little deeper. I was like, oh gosh, like how much is there out there about this? And there were a lot of Reddit threads, a lot of articles. I found like a Dear Abby column of a woman asking about this as an issue in her marriage. And here's what I noticed in the threads and the different articles is there was always some phrasing of, I knew this when I married my husband. And then there's this phrasing of, it's really starting to bother me. It wasn't necessarily an issue before, but now I'm noticing it's starting to bother me, and I don't know how to talk to him about it. I was kind of floored, and luckily the kind of Dear Abby column that I saw, at least she's the woman responding and giving the advice, is saying this is never ever anything to bring up with your husband, because this is for most men, there's a huge insecurity around their penis size, regardless of where they are on that spectrum. We're going to talk a little bit more about that today, but it's a huge insecurity for men. And so that phrasing, I mean, already knowing what I know and what I teach is pretty obvious to me as a woman, and understanding how we operate in our woman ways. Is this phrasing of it wasn't an issue, but now it is, or it's really starting to bother me. It shows me the reality that as women, and specifically, since this is a channel on marriage and relationships, married women, that the reality is that scrutinizing our husband's penis size is really just another excuse to blame our unhappiness and our issues with sex onto our husbands. It's another issue we can point out and take and use as an excuse. And penis size is also just another way to put men down and emasculate men to feel weak and small within themselves and to feel insecure, which has been the greatest contributor to men being insecure about their size. Also, as a society and as a culture, we joke that size matters. There's all kinds of commercials. I looked up because I felt like I saw one recently, but I couldn't quite put my finger on it. And so I searched it to see, but I didn't find the one I thought I was thinking of, but I found a commercial for a law firm that was like, of course size matters. And so there's all kinds of commercials and innuendos and jokes about size mattering. Last week, I was with my team in Vegas for a conference, and we saw a sign. I forget what it was in relationship to, but it was this huge neon sign that said size matters, and there was a guy standing next to it taking this picture. So there's all these ways culturally that we allude to size mattering, and to me it's another way that culture minimizes men and puts men down and creates insecurity for men. that somehow it does matter, that somehow a real man is a man that's packing down there, and that's what makes a real man, which couldn't be further from the truth. It's very similar to as women seeing, tens, women who are tens, like the models and the celebrities and the different influencers. That was another thing in Vegas. I mean, gosh, it's like you kind of have to like do this in Vegas. I had never actually been before, and that was I had my blinders on and was there for work, and that was my boundary. But you can't help but notice some of the billboards and things like that, and seeing billboards of, the different strip teases, both women and men. But I noticed the ones for women where these women that, the pictures are so touched up and so flawless that as women we'll look at things like that and think like, gosh, I don't look anywhere close to that, and comparing ourselves and thinking that we're supposed to somehow look like the models and the celebrities and the actresses and influencers, and we should all be tens and flawless, when of course there's no basis of truth in that, and that's nowhere close to any kind of reality that's the same for men in their size that are culturally, and then how we treat men as women, making it seem like that should matter, is there's no reality in that. There's really no reality in it. So today what we're talking about are 3 reasons. 3 reasons size does not matter that men need to know. 3 reasons size does not matter that men need to know. I need to take a little sip of water before we get into it. Getting over a little bit of a cold. If you notice, my voice sounds a little different. So 3 reasons that size does not matter that men need to know. Number 1, penis size is a red herring. In marriage or in a relationship with a woman, penis size is a red herring. What does that mean? So for these women that I saw on Reddit and different articles complaining about their husband's size, and that was the reason that they were unfulfilled in the bedroom, and that it's really starting to be an issue, is a false argument that we use as women to distract from the real issue, that we are unfulfilled in the bedroom. That's a red herring. It's a false argument. It's focusing on details that seem like they're logical or could be true, that are misleading and a distraction from the real issue. The real issue for a woman being unfulfilled in the bedroom has nothing to do with her husband's size or a man's size. The real issue for us as women is our own insecurities and inadequacies in the bedroom. As women, and I can speak from my own experience in my younger years, and when I first met my husband, we like to have a false bravado that we are highly skilled in the bedroom, or we know what we are doing, when in reality we put on a show of who we think we need to be to get the man, of doing and being and acting in ways that we think a man wants, maybe things we see in pornography or in movies, thinking that's how we're supposed to be, and this is what men fantasize about or watch, and what they want me to be in the bedroom. So we create a total facade being who we think we need to be, when in actuality, if you took away that false bravado, and you took away the ways that we act in the bedroom and the show that we put on, and we didn't have that as a crutch anymore to hide behind, then underneath that, we are incredibly insecure and feel incredibly uncomfortable and inadequate in the bedroom. We don't know ourselves. We don't know our bodies. We don't know what we like or don't like with sex. And we have put that responsibility on a man to know how to please us without putting in the work to really know ourselves and then be vulnerable enough to bring who we truly are and what we enjoy into the bedroom. We hide behind the facade of who we think we're supposed to be and that false confidence in our sexual ability. A good description of how we actually feel is I want you to imagine maybe in high school or college, and I don't mean this in a bullying way or derogatory way, but I want you to imagine maybe the nerdiest girl in school or the most socially awkward girl in school that gets picked on, that the guys don't pursue or don't like, and how incredibly insecure and timid she feels in herself. I wanted to think of a relevant example, and I think most people would still know this movie. It was one of my favorite movies growing up as a kid, from the 90s, called A League of Their Own with Tom Hanks. And it's a movie about, women playing baseball and men went off to war. And it's such a cute movie from the 90s. And there's a character in it that when they're forming this women's baseball team, the recruiter was John Lovitz in the movie. And he goes to see this woman play, and it's her dad kind of showing off her skills, and she's got a hat on that's like covering her face, and she, holds herself like that, just shoulders totally hunched forward, and she hit, I think she hits or pitches, I forget, and John like, whoa, she's really good. And he says, well, let's see her, because part of the league was also they needed to be attractive to pull in the crowd. And the dad says, come on over. And she lifts her head up and kind of smiles. And John Lovitz takes a step back because she was being attractive wasn't one of her strengths. And she was just very timid and insecure about that. As women, that's how we feel in the bedroom. Take away our facade, who we think we need to be. We have no confidence or understanding of ourselves in the bedroom. So once we marry a good man and we get what we want, you can watch the video that I have on why women really want sex to understand that dynamic. Once we get married to a good man, we get what we wanted. We can't keep the facade up anymore. We don't want to keep the facade up anymore. We've got what we wanted. We don't want to have sex anymore. So that facade comes down. We become shut down, closed off, frigid, because our lack of ability and understanding of our own bodies and our inadequacy. We can't keep that facade. So then the real truth comes out underneath of how we actually feel about ourselves in relationship to sex and in the bedroom. We project that onto our husbands to make it about them and how they show up in the bedroom and how they are sexually, as to why we pull away and shut down to sex. We, like we do in everything else, blame our husbands and how they are the problem. So one of the ways we might project, and a woman might project onto her husband, one place being their husband's penis size. That if he's on the smaller side, and under average or even average, then a woman can project her own insecurities and inadequacy onto that, and again avoid the responsibility and accountability of looking at herself. That's the first reason. That size is a red herring, and good men, you need to know that it's not the issue. It's a false argument. And it's that, don't buy into that gaslighting that that's the issue. If that's something that you are challenged with and gets brought up in your marriage, whether covertly or overtly from your wife, it's not the issue. It's her insecurities and her inadequacy in herself in the bedroom. The second thing that men need to know of why size does not matter, it is not the size of the branch. It is the shake of the tree. So I want to thank a friend of mine for that statement. When I asked her, hey, what do you think, does size matter? that was her response. And we had a laugh. And that laugh was really important, because the laugh at the statement that it's not the size of the branch, it's the shake of the tree, means that if we laugh at that as women, it's because we know that's true. We know that's true. So what that means is that if you are smaller as a man, or you are insecure about your size, that it's not about the size. That it's about your abilities in the bedroom, and that is a learned skill. That it's a learned skill. And for good men, it's important to good men to please a woman in the bedroom. And it's not relevant on if you can please a woman in the bedroom. Your size is not relevant. It's how you use it, and your skills and ability to please a woman in the bedroom. That your size is not indicative of whether a woman can enjoy herself or not. It's irrelevant. And so that's one way that you can build confidence, if that is an insecurity for you in yourself, is that's a way to build confidence for yourself in the bedroom. And number 3, the third thing that men need to know about why size does not matter, is that statistically, the average penis size erect is between 5 and 5.5 inches. And I even saw some statistics a little bit lower than that. And so if you are average, then you should feel confident. The problem for men, and talking with my mentor of this being a huge insecurity, is that men often think that they're smaller than average. So it's important to know what the average is. And that can come, unfortunately, based on what men might see in porn of other men, because in pornography, they're hiring men that are much larger than average. Men will get discouraged thinking, well, that's what I'm supposed to look like, when that's not. Again, there's no truth in that. It's the same as what I talked about in the beginning, same as women looking on Instagram and seeing these influencers who are using filters and look completely flawless, that and some of those women might be that beautiful in person physically, but that's not the average woman. That's not the average of what women look like. So it's the same for men in this department, and to know that if you're in good company, and to know it's important to know that average. And so if you're smaller or below average, then that's where the second reason comes into play, that there are other ways to compensate and other ways to build your confidence in the bedroom, and that size is irrelevant. So those are the 3. I knew it was going to be a little shorter today. Those are the three things that men need to know about why size does not matter. That 1, penis size is a red herring. It's not the issue. If that's something that your wife uses to emasculate you, or make you wrong and bad about, or make you believe that that's why she's not fulfilled in the bedroom, it's a distraction from the real issue, which is in herself and her own insecurities and inadequacies in the bedroom. The second thing that men need to know is that it's not the size of the branch, it's the shake of the tree. And that as women, we laugh because we know that's true, that we would rather have a man skilled in the bedroom and be smaller than a man who's well endowed and wham bam, thank you ma'am, and in and out. So that's a learned skill that good men want to do. They want to know how to please a woman. And the third thing that men need to know about why size doesn't matter is that statistically, the average size of a penis erect is between 5 and 5.5 inches. So that's the average. It's not above that. And if that's where you are, then most of us in any department in life typically fall, if we think of a bell curve, we fall in the average. And that's important to know. And that if you are smaller or below average, there are other things to learn to gain your confidence and compensate, so that you're not insecure and can resolve that within yourself, and not give that power away to women. So I always like to talk a little bit about solution. So I want to talk to women that if you are a woman who is emasculating your husband and feeling that you are unfulfilled in the bedroom because of his size and thinking he is too small, the solution is that it is your job to learn to be comfortable in the bedroom, that has nothing to do with your satisfaction in the bedroom at all. It is irrelevant. And it is our responsibility as women to learn and know our bodies and to lovingly guide our husbands in what we enjoy. Like I said, good men want to please their women. They are not selfish, narcissistic bad boys only thinking of themselves in the bedroom. But it's up to us. I often say that sex is not how your husband or something makes you feel. It is how you allow yourself to feel. And as women, we have to learn to lower our walls and learn to be vulnerable in the bedroom. That is our responsibility. And the truth is, we are completely insecure and want nothing to do with being vulnerable in the bedroom because we're scared to go there within ourselves. It has nothing to do with our partners. It is all about us. So when you allow yourself to be vulnerable in the bedroom and experience yourself in the bedroom as a woman with your walls down, that's one of the greatest gifts that you can give yourself. I often talked a little bit about in last week's live that as women, we've never known ourselves as women. We've been so walled off. We've been competing, trying to be like a man, thinking that's how we're going to feel equal or valued or adequate and validated within ourselves, which couldn't be further from the truth. That how we get to know ourselves as women is being women. And we need a man as context to know ourselves as women. So your husband as a good man is the safest place in the world for you to explore yourself sexually and what you like and don't like, and learn to be yourself in the bedroom, to let go of the facade or the protection and closing yourself off, and learn to be and bring who you truly are into the bedroom with your husband. That, of course, that's the safest place and the safest person and the only person that you can do that with. As women, when we learn to be vulnerable in the bedroom, to drop our walls in sex, is where we get to know ourselves as kind, gentle, loving, soft, sensual, feminine. And you do that for yourself. And your husband gets the benefit. That's all your husband wants. Your husband, as a good man, doesn't want you to be the porn star. He doesn't want you to be the Instagram influencer. He's not asking you to be someone you're not, nor would he ever want that from you. He wants you to be yourself and enjoy the experience of sex and bring who you are into it. Your husband, if you were open and soft and feminine and just yourself and enjoying sex, that is all a good man wants and is fully satisfying to him. He would rather have vanilla sex with his wife if she was open and enjoying it and just being herself. That's what he's craving, is you. Not some actor show you can put on. He would rather have that vanilla sex than whatever you might see, like in, what was that movie, 50 Shades of Grey or whatever. He's not asking for that. Now, men like different things in the bedroom, just as women, we like different things in the bedroom. And it's good to explore and find things you might like. But I promise you, If you show up as yourself each time and you're engaged and enjoying it and just you and it's vanilla sex, he will be completely satisfied as a good man. He would rather have that than you be checked out, shut down, and putting on a show of some, kink and feeling you're not there at all and he doesn't have his wife and it's just a show. So that's up to you to be willing to step in and drop your walls in that. The solution for men in this, that if you are a man that is average and or even smaller, and this is something your wife uses against you to emasculate you around your size, do not buy into the gaslighting that your size is the reason that she is unfulfilled in the bedroom. That is a false argument. Again, a red herring. If you were well endowed and that wasn't something that she used against you, she would just find another excuse and another reason to blame you for her dissatisfaction and unfulfillment in the bedroom. I've had to look at this in myself and see it with women all the time, is that we are never happy. We always want what we don't have because it's an excuse and a way to not have to look at ourselves and take accountability for why we are unfulfilled sexually. So if it wasn't this and size, it would be something else. So don't buy in to that gaslighting. It's just an excuse. And men need to know that it is your wife's job to be comfortable and know herself and know her body in the bedroom, to be able to experience it and enjoy it for herself. If your wife doesn't understand and know her body and how to enjoy sex for herself, there is nothing you can do or nothing you're not doing that is the reason for that. And it's really, really important to know, so that, again, as I teach, once men are educated on what's going on and the truth and reality of being married to a woman and the games and the manipulations that we pull, then it's up to you to understand that and navigate it so that she can no longer emasculate you. I always say it doesn't make it right or okay, but this channel is about can't take responsibility for both women and for men, that we have to take responsibility for our experience. And before having the education of what's really happening, a man doesn't know any different and he can't see it. But what I teach men in my men's course is once you see it and you understand what's going on, that's where your wife becomes your greatest teacher to find a strength and confidence in yourself in the context of marriage that you wouldn't be able to find anywhere else. So it's important you understand the truth and reality of what's going on, because it's when you don't and you get sucked into the gaslighting and the emasculation that's where you unknowingly give your power away. And when you take that power back, then it cannot faze you anymore. So you want to learn more about how it's your wife's responsibility to understand her body and be pleased and fulfilled in the bedroom. You want to go watch, I have a video on how to make a woman orgasm. And in that video, I talk about it's our responsibility that you can, as a man, educate yourself and know your way around the bedroom, which is good for any man to do. But whether she can enjoy herself or not is completely in her hands. So go watch that video. Thank you guys so much. It was a little bit shorter today. And for those interested in my courses, well, we have two courses for women happiness program, which is the prerequisite to be able to take my Happy Wife program, because we need a foundation of being happy in ourselves. And we have a course for men to teach men how to give back the power, or get back the power they've unknowingly given away, and build their strength and confidence. And you can find a link to apply for those courses in the description below. And me and my team review those applications and find the people we can truly, truly help We know the issues and challenges that the course can help with, and the issues and challenges it's not really designed for. And we're honest about that. That's a value of ours in our company, is to only help and work with the people we absolutely know that we can help and they can gain value out of the course. So again, you can find the link to apply below. I know my moderators have been doing a great job of this in the chat, but please like the video if you haven't already, and consider subscribing to the channel if you are not already subscribed. I'm going to pop over to the chat for a moment and look for questions from Evo that I can address. And thank you guys so much for being here with me today. Yeah, I think that's, yeah. I'm still working on getting that call-in show set up. I'm very excited about that. So that'll be a regular show likely during the week along with this show, and we'll see where that goes. I'm really excited for that. So we'll have a place where people can sign up or inquire about being on the call-in show if you are brave and have issues that you would like to talk through the perspective that I teach. So I'm very excited about that. Keep posted. It's coming. So headed over here to the chat. Oh, thank you so much. Let me come over here and look at this. Thank you so much, Joshua. How touching, and thank you for your contribution. Joshua says, you have really helped me see that everything that goes on with me and my wife is not all my fault. Knowing it's not me that has to change. I thought I was crazy for so many years. I cry less now because of you. Thank you. You're very welcome. Thanks for sharing that. That's very touching. It makes me cry. Oh gosh, I'm so happy to know that. I love to see that for you guys. Salty Combat Diver, good to have you back. There's lots of love and support for you, I know, in the chat today and last week. Happy you're here. That one got me. Thanks, Love Grows. Good to see ya. Great message. Thank you, Karen. There are ladies here. Oh my goodness. There are ladies here. They tend to reach out, even though 90% of my channel is men as a male audience. 75% of the people taking my courses are women. So husbands and men are sharing my videos with women, and some of them are listening and want to look at these things, and some are not. And so, all right, here we go. So I am... Oh, good. This was an awesome chat video. Love to hear that. Thank you to my moderators for making that possible. I'm going to hop over here, see what Evo might have sent my way. Just got to switch screens over here. Thank you so much, Evo. Yeah, I got this question last week. How do I, as a man, help my wife to be happy with herself? And I was talking with a gentleman yesterday who reached out for help. There's nothing you can do. And I don't mean that in a pessimistic doomsday way. Is that the fundamental truth of life is that no one and no thing can make us happy, and no one and no thing can make us want to be happy, or look at our level of contentment and satisfaction and fulfillment in life. It's something it's a call we have to answer in ourselves. And the sad truth is, and I don't know if I've done a video on this yet or spoke to it or not. Sad matter is, a lot of women don't want to be happy. We don't want to be happy. I think I did do a video on that as I'm saying it. That's ringing true. But yeah, a lot of women don't want to be happy because we want the excuse out of life, and we want the ability to blame and point the finger out. And if we were happy, there'd be no problems and everything would be okay. And we're scared of that. I mean, ultimately, I think that's important to know. We're scared. We're what will that ask of me? We think we'll have to be on all the time. And we don't know ourselves in that way. We only know ourselves as feeling bad about ourselves and having an unhealthy relationship with ourselves and chasing what we think will make us happy. That's the whole experience of ourselves. So it's out of our comfort zone, actually, to be happy. But there's nothing a man can do. And actually, the more you try to help your wife be happy, the more you are giving your power away and setting yourself up to be emasculated, and the more she's going to pull away and resent you. So the best thing you can do as a man is to retire from making and trying to make or help your wife be happy, and let go of the thinking that there is something that you can do. It doesn't mean you stop being a good man and doing the things you enjoy doing because it's an expression of who you are in your marriage. It doesn't mean you become a jerk. Not in your nature. But it means you let go of thinking that there's something that you can do and understand no. And you're not the source of her unhappiness. That she's responsible for that. That's how you fight for your wife. Because when you try to make her happy and you buy into thinking there's something you can do, or should be doing, you're enabling her. So you want to know, you focus on you to make sure you're doing what you need to do to have a full gas tank and have emotional resilience and feel good in yourself. And you allow her to figure it out if she wants to. One thing a man can do is if he feels called to it in his heart, is to take the risk to share my videos. And you can go check out my live on what a good man needs to know about sharing my videos. And also go check out my live on how to make your wife happy. There's a really good breakdown of why that's a bad idea for men, why it doesn't work, and what you need to do to remain in your confidence and strength. Let's see. I read through that. Question: do you feel it is reasonable for a 60-year-old man to marry a younger woman? Outstanding content, by the way. Thank you very much. I appreciate that comment. I think the real response I want to give to this, that I often say, is that a woman is a woman is a woman, and eventually over time, these issues that I talk about are going to come out on a spectrum. So what a man wants to do is to educate himself with my channel, and consider taking my course to educate yourself on what are the woman ways and how do you navigate them as a good man, so that you're embracing women as your greatest teacher to find that strength and confidence in yourself, but not being fooled that a younger woman is going to be void of these issues that I talk about myself, and thinking of my friends, my female friends when I was younger. It is a myth. It is a myth that a younger woman doesn't have as many issues and baggage. No, because we still, our fundamental nature is not to want to take responsibility. I was the biggest victim I could ever imagine in my early 20s. It was cute. I was thinner. But I was a mess because I blamed all my insecurities in my 20s on my childhood and my father and my family. So I think it's just not to be disillusioned that if you do date a younger woman, that some of these issues aren't going to be there. A man needs to educate himself and know a woman is a woman is a woman, so that you have the tools and strength and confidence in yourself to navigate those woman ways. So let's see what else. Thank you so much, Evo. Okay, same answer to this question. How do I help my wife feel secure and fulfilled with herself as a woman? You can't. It's her job. That feeling secure and fulfilled in ourselves is a byproduct of learning to have a healthy relationship with ourselves. That as women, when we learn to have a healthy relationship with ourselves, we accept who we are, we become comfortable in who we are, and we're secure and confident. And only we can do that for ourselves. That's why men, if you give your wife compliments and try to tell her how beautiful she is, and that you wouldn't want anyone else, and all the nice thing, and that she's intelligent, and you're impressed by her, and all the nice compliments you give her that just fall on deaf ears, is because she's insecure and not confident in herself, and the compliments and trying to help her get there, you're throwing your actions and feelings into an empty bucket. That it's her job to do that. We cannot get our validation from outside of us. I could not hear my husband in the wonderful ways he loves me, and in the wonderful compliments he gives me, and just how proud he is of me. Oh my goodness. He's so proud of me for this channel and what I'm doing. And it's so nice to be able to let that in. It's so nice to hear him in that, because he's so genuine and he's just so excited for me, and so supportive. And if I wasn't, if I wasn't confident and secure in myself, I wouldn't be able to do this. I wouldn't have this channel. I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing. I have to be proud of myself, and I have to know what I'm doing, and have that in me. And then that's how I can hear him. But before, when I was insecure, didn't feel good about myself, was unhappy, I couldn't hear any of it. It actually made me mad. I would get pissed when he would tell me things and tell him, that's not me. Stop telling me that. So you can't. Yeah. Oh, I love that, Luke. Thanks for the comment. And Mauricio, and I just love seeing the names that pop up each week. Thank you guys for being such a devoted audience. It's so nice. But thanks for that comment, Luke. I don't know a man that is in a relationship that doesn't want to please his woman. That is so true. That is so true. The only man in a relationship that doesn't care about pleasing his woman or not would be a bad boy or a narcissistic man. So Luke is just spot on. Yeah. Oh, bless you, Mauricio. And I hope, or Mauricio, I apologize if I don't say that correctly. My ex used to say that it would hurt when we were intimate, and used that as an excuse to not be intimate. Bless you. You are not alone. That is a very, very common excuse that women use, and I will do a more in-depth video on that soon. That's a really good topic. The pain that we feel during sex as women is an emotional experience that translates into physical form. The pain we feel in sex is a result of emotional pain in ourselves. And so I will go more in depth into that. It is our closed offness to sex and our rigidity that causes pain during intercourse. And to me, that is a much better angle to look at the emotional cause of pain during sex for us as women, because we have control to be able to heal that and do something about that, which is very empowering. So I'm sorry you had that experience, and it is another excuse, and also an excuse women can use when we actually don't have pain down there, but it's an excuse we can use that no one will question. And you can learn a lot about that on Josie's channel, Escape the Alternative Health Matrix, about using physical conditions and autoimmune disorders and pain as an excuse out of life. And is very, very insightful. So again, you can go check her channel out on that as well. Oh, wow. Thanks so much for being vulnerable and sharing that, Dennis. Attempting to get her to watch a few of your videos is what precipitated our breakup. Was about to put a ring on her finger. Phew. Thank you for waking me up. Good man. Wow, good for you. What courage to share the videos, and what a great screening process for men who are not married and want to be married and want that experience in life, is to share my videos. It will tell you everything. So I'm sorry. I know breakups are heartbreaking and not easy to go through. But I'm so happy this woke you up and you shared the videos, because yeah, you dodged a bullet there, and bless you. Thanks for sharing that. That's fantastic. So let's see. 2 more. Thanks, Evo. Oh, that's an interesting question. Any consideration to putting your live on DVDs for sale? A good way to share your counsel with others. Last week was a particular point to share. I probably won't necessarily go in that direction, just in the wave of technology and direction of our technology. But that's why I think the podcast is a great way to look. Somebody had a great idea, and is something that I'm absolutely considering, just a matter of when, taking my live streams and shows and transcribing them to make them into a book. That's so nice. Oh, thanks, Electrifying CT. I love your support and thanks for the contribution. And I saw a couple of your comments yesterday in the video I posted from a live a couple weeks ago on drinking. Thank you for sharing your experience and kind of going back and forth with some of the women trolling on the video. I appreciate that and noticed that. I just haven't had a chance to respond to the comments over there. But I have questions to come in future videos. But today, I just wanted to say we have much respect for you and keep doing what you're doing. Thank you. Thank you very much. I like that emoji. My colleague Josie and I use that sometimes. So thanks so much. Yeah. Oh, good. Oh, bless you. One more question Evo sent. Thank you. Thank you for your work. It's helped me, grandfather in my 50s, find peace in myself and compassion for my wife. So touched to know that. Thank you for sharing. What's the best way to invite her to your work? The best way is there's two options. So go watch my live on, I think it's called Warning, What Good Men Need to Know About Sharing My Videos. Go watch that in its entirety. It's really important education on introducing my work to your wife. Another kind of softer in, if she's open to it, is that I have a Happiness 101, free Happiness 101 course that's about 45 minutes that doesn't talk about my channel or the hard-hitting titles or truths in my channel. It's on my website, and you can actually find the link in the description below of this video or any of my videos. That's a soft entry for women, and you just want to know, and all men need to know, this is for all men, that it does not work. If a woman comes to me and said, my husband said I need to do this, I can't let her into my course because it's not productive or constructive, because she's not there for herself. She has to be there for herself and resonate deeply with what I talk about and know it in herself for my course to work, along with some other things that I look out for. Yeah, that's guys, good questions coming in, and since it was a shorter live, I'm having fun, so I'll keep going. This will be the last one, then I'll hop over to the chat for just a moment. How do you advise a wife who takes every advice as criticism, is too sensitive, and thinks that you are putting her down, no matter how gently you try to advise? You can't. It would be best to stop from a conscious place in yourself of like, this is, there's a concept of when you're with a woman who is not interested in changing, which is what she is showing you. There's a concept I teach of managing the relationship. If you are choosing to stay, you got to take responsibility for your choice to stay, understand the reality of your wife, and not do the things that unnecessarily poke the bear, because it's just more ammo she collects against you. It sets you up to give your power away and feel weak in yourself in the relationship. What I tell women who are open to knowing that like, this is me, that I have historically been very sensitive and takes any criticism or feedback as that I am wrong and bad and something wrong with me. And it's a muscle that I've had to build. And how I've built that muscle is to know when I get defensive, when I want to cry and feel like I've been made wrong and bad, or I feel criticized and I'm emotionally charged around that, it means there is truth in what is being presented to me. And now I've learned to, if my husband brings something up and he's not, somebody not even trying to advise, he's just making a comment, and he's such a good, nice man. Like, and I get like defensive. I know now that's a benchmark. I zip it and let it settle in and know, oh, okay, there's a crack in my foundation to work on. So that's what I'd say. And that's it. Thank you, Evo. Awesome job. Thank you so much for the questions and comments that you sent. And it's my voice is starting to go a little bit, so I'm going to start wrapping up here soon. Luke, thanks for the reminder. Chelsea, if you're listening, we're going to start putting Josie's link in our video descriptions. We'll get that taken care of. And guys, I hope you guys have a nice weekend. Just seeing if there's anything. Yeah. I like that. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. That's a great, great comment. So thank you guys so much for being a great, great audience. Thanks to the mods. Hope everybody has a great week, great weekend, and I'll see you next weekend. All right. Bye.